request Master Jackson Rodriguez to introduce our resource person, Dr. Achar.
Thank you, Blasi. Good morning, one and all present today. Dr. A.P. Achar, Dean Corporate Program, Justice Hegde Institute of Management, NITI. Dr. A.P. Achar is a CEO of AIC NITI Incubation Center, Manipal. He has 30 years of experience in teaching, training, and consulting in management. He has worked as Dean at Justice K.S. Hegde Institute of Management, NITI, for 4 years. Director of Sahyadri School of Management, Mangalore, for over 5 years, and has also worked as a professor in Manipal Group of Institution for more than 2 decades. During his tenure as a professor at Manipal Institute of Management, he has occupied several administrative positions. His area of specialization in teaching are human resource management and entrepreneurship. Sir is actively involved for conducting training programs for all the stakeholders of agriculture. He has also conducted several executive education programs for business organizations and have also conducted several research projects in areas of poverty alleviation, women empowerment, and rural development. Dr. A.P. Achar has presented nearly 30 research papers at national and international levels. Sir is presently working in collaborative research on impact of leadership of school performance across culture comparison, Malaysia and Karnataka. Dr. A.P. Achar is postgraduated in management and holds a PhD in human resource development. Dr. Achar is also being honored with HDFC BCCI Outstanding Achievement Award in the National MSME Conclave jointly organized by HDFC and Bilava Chamber of Commerce at Mumbai. Once again, a very welcome to you, sir. And our request, Dr. A.P. Achar to take over the session.
Good morning to all of you once again. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity to share my thoughts on national innovation and startup policy in 2019 for student and faculty members. A brief introduction about our institute. NITTE Deemed University or NITTE Education Trust today offers 150 different professional courses for nearly 15,000 students in 3 campuses, Bengaluru, Mangaluru, and NITTE Karkala. And NITTE is one among the prestigious institution to get Atal Innovation Center from NITI Aayog in the year 2020. We have been actively engaged in promoting the entrepreneurship and startup culture among students and faculty in the campus, also from the outside students. So, brief introduction about initiative MHRD Initiative Cell. If you look at the formation of the new Modi government in 2014, during election campaign, Narendra Modi had promised a job for two youngsters in the country. But when it came to power, he come to know that it is impossible to provide 2 crore jobs. So he started shifting his focus on self-employment, entrepreneurship, and startup in the campus. So the policymakers focused mainly on converting outgoing students as an entrepreneurs. In this contest, these are the following initiatives taken by Government of India. Smart India Hackathon, where the national problems are forced to student and faculty members to solve. And Institution Innovation Cell, it is compulsory for all the universities and higher institution to set up Institution Innovation Cell to promote startup and entrepreneurship in the college. And another important initiative started by MHRD Cell is Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements. I started, I think, 2 years back. Now all the institutions are working towards getting high rank in this institution, Atal ranking of institutions. Then National Innovation Startup Policy for student and faculty, because in India, faculty members are not encouraged to do business in the campus, but this policy encourages both student and faculty to take up entrepreneurial activities during the course of study. And another important initiative was international hackathons. All these are in the website. I'm not just going to discuss in detail about this. But I think one of the important initiative taken by the government of India is to rank institutions for education in ranking other institutions on the different parameters. One parameter is how much amount of money is allocated for promotion of entrepreneurship and startup in the campus. If you look at the Institute of Higher Education, Engineering and MBA, they allocate huge amount of money for placement. Their one and only goal is to provide employment to the students, but the new policy says that apart from providing more uh, money on placement, institutions should allocate more money for spreading entrepreneurship and startup. Then second important parameters on which the ranking is provided is what kind of facilities you provide for student and faculty to initiate startups. Third is the creating awareness and promotion of idea among student and faculty, not only in the college but outside also, they promoting entrepreneurship as a career option. Then many colleges have patents. Most colleges evaluate their faculty members performance based on their research, and when they conduct a research they get a new product and they get a patent also. So most colleges keep their patent as it is, they don't commercialize it. So the ranking also is given based on how many patents are converted into commercial ventures. And another important factor on which ranking is provided is learning method. How do you teach entrepreneurship? You cannot teach entrepreneurship as like any other courses. There's a mindset that Indian education system that it is designed for students to become clerks or head clerks. So we need to have a break this mindset and inculcate the spirit of entrepreneurship among the students. For this, we need to develop a very different innovative learning methods, and each institute is ranked based on what kind of innovative methods they've adopted in the institution. The last one is governance. In the all college, if you look at management institute, their vision mission is to provide 100% placement, and their entire governance initiatives are meant for promoting students or placement. Now, the new policy says that the parameters or Atal ranking is how much of your time and effort is spent for promotion of entrepreneurship. This is the ranking. So these are the important parameters. And startup policy 2019 September was launched, and as per this policy, universities should set up an institute innovation cell, and maybe higher education is EDP cell. This policy thrust areas, I'll not discuss in detail about various aspects of the policy, but thrust areas are the strategies and governance for promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. I think in next year, AICT will come out with a policy amendment saying that the license will be given to only those institutes who can convert minimum 25% of their outgoing students as entrepreneurs. You have to give in writing. If you don't give in writing, the new license will not be given for starting engineering college or higher education institutions. So this policy talks more on what are the governance issues or the governance and management issues for promoting entrepreneurship, creating innovation and pipeline for pathways for entrepreneurs. Second is the norms for faculty and student-driven innovation and startup. Western countries, Europe and US, UK, 20 years back, they allowed faculty members to start startup in their campus. Students also allowed to create an enterprise in the campus, but in India, I think till 2019 it was not allowed. They're barred from taking entrepreneurial activity. But this law, this 2019 policy says that faculty members and students should be given a lot of encouragement for starting their startups. Next is incubation and pre-incubation support. So Government of India is promoting incubation centers in a big scale. Right now we have 300 incubation centers funded through different schemes. And the new scheme, which is Atal Innovation Mission, under that 100 world-class incubations will be set up, out of which 50 is already granted and one is in NITE. So these incubation centers will handhold other colleges to set up an incubation and pre-incubation center. and you can get support from Atal Innovation Center. Next is collaboration, co-creation, business relationship, and now this is another important aspect of the policy. See, academic institution cannot work alone; they must work with the industry. So, industry has a huge problems, but they don't have time. They may not have a talent. But academic institutions have a huge talent. Professors and students have a lot of time. But the policy says that each institute should collaborate with few industries, and their problems has to be solved in a collaborative way. So they have to jointly create a problem. So we have tie up with IBM, where IBM has given a lot of their problems, challenges to student and faculty, and there will be mentors from IBM also. They have to create a new product to solve the problem or improve the existing product. This is a broad area of this policy. Let us discuss one by one, a few of them, not all of them. This law makes it compulsory to initiate steps for institute and innovation cell, and main functions of this cell should be conduct various innovation and entrepreneurship related activities. As I told you that Indian education system doesn't support innovation and entrepreneurship, a special effort has to be made to support innovation and entrepreneurship in the campus. Identify and reward innovation and share success stories. So in the performance appraisal, most colleges give importance for student feedback, and no, there's how much papers publication, what happens over paper publication, nobody knows. But any faculty members conduct a research and comes out with an innovation, and he has to be rewarded, and the success stories has to be shared with everybody. Organize periodic workshops, seminars, and interactions with entrepreneurs, investors, and professionals, and create a mentor pool for student innovators. So for promoting entrepreneurship or a startup in the campus, you need to have a pool of mentors. Your pool of mentors could be your alumni who have started enterprises. A lot of investors, angel investors, are available now. So you can connect to them and conduct periodic workshop, seminars. And one more thing is that we have a program called Startup Saturday. So this is an area where successful entrepreneurs will share their experience with the prospective entrepreneurs, and they can get a preview of what is the life of an entrepreneur. Network with peers and national entrepreneurship development organizations. So I request your institute to collaborate with us. We have an expertise in setting up an incubation center in your place also. We can divert some funding for conducting EDPs, conducting some kind of workshop seminars for promoting startup and entrepreneurship. Create ICT innovation portal to highlight. Now, if you look at the most institutes' website, especially the MBAs and uni colleges, they highlight how many companies came to campus for placement. The entire focus is about the placement, average salary, and all. Nobody talks about what is the facilities available for entrepreneurship, startup, and other things. So this institution innovation cell should create a lot of awareness that this is our institute gives a lot of importance for promoting entrepreneurship and facilities also. Organize hackathons, idea competition both at institute level and regional level. We are organizing 2 hackathons. One is on agri-tech, one is on medical equipments. So we have identified 5 problem statements in consultation with the industry. So this problem has to be solved by both student and faculty members, maybe 1 faculty members and 3 students. They have to come out with a solution prototype, and they'll be called to NITE for making presentations, shortlisted teams, and they'll be given a cash prize as mentoring for 1 year by the industry experts, and seed money to convert their idea into product and product into commercialization. Idea competition. So we are also having an idea competition. The student will, some of them have an idea, but they don't know what to do with that idea. They don't know how to convert it into product. So you can tag on to incubation centers, or you can have a pool of mentors where they can help the student to convert an idea into product. It can happen both at your institute level, or it happen at the regional level, Goa, South India level. It can also happen. This is the function, normal function. You can add more function to this. Startup enabling infrastructure. As per the guidelines of MHRD, the pre-incubation and incubation facilities for nurturing innovation startups shall be established at university campus for higher education institutions. See, for converting, there are three things. One is to motivate a student to become an entrepreneur. When they are motivated, then they must have an idea to start an entrepreneurial activity. So help them conduct design thinking workshop. Help them to, I'll conduct an workshop on business idea generation. And when they have pre-incubation is all about converting your idea into a product. Once the product is ready, they will be graduated to incubation stage. So in our incubation center, we'll do both pre-incubation and incubation facilities. We select, if we select 100 for pre-incubation, only 20 qualify for 25 may qualify for incubation. The process and mechanism for nurturing the startup by alumni and potential startup applicants, even from outside the institution, shall be increased by the institution. So college should always have an active alumni base and also the entrepreneurial region, and connect them regularly so that they will be getting motivated and help from the alumni. A full-fledged incubation center shall provide support for student and faculty startup. All colleges should establish a full-fledged incubation center, which may not require much money, but you need to have a soft infrastructure. Like for incubation center, the main facility to available is the mentors, a group of mentors in functional areas and sectoral areas. Suppose, for example, our three sectors, domain areas where we focus more is in agriculture, biotech, and IT. This is sectoral specific. We need to have as mentors and sector specific. We also need to have as mentors in functional areas like finance, marketing, HR, strategy. We need to have a pool of mentors. That is the first important requirement to have incubation centers. Space, anyway, all colleges have some space to provide. Any clarification, any doubt? Or shall I proceed?
So please change the slide.
It's not visible.
No, sir. You can see only the first slide.
Oh, you could have told me, no? Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Visible now?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Nurturing, another important policy is nurturing innovation and startup. So when you say nurturing innovation startup, it is among both faculty members and student. Every faculty member of university is encouraged to mentor at least one startup. In our university, it is compulsory for every faculty members to publish 2 articles, research articles, and publish it. Now it is changed now. Every faculty members shall encourage to mentor at least one startup in his domain area. For example, a department like electronics, mechanical, whatever. They must, each faculty member should mentor one student startup. And participation in startup related activities considered as a legitimate activity of faculty in addition to teaching R&D project. Now, if you look at the key result or responsibility areas of faculty members is teaching, research, consulting, R&D project. These are the key areas. But now the policy says one of the key responsibility for the faculty members is to take up startup related activities. Faculty members and staffs are allowed to take off for a semester or a year as a sabbatical leave for working on startup and come back. When actually engineering college, when they do a research, they'll come up with a new product. To commercialize, they have to devote full time for this. So the college should grant them sabbatical leave, maybe for a semester or a year or maximum 2 years, and they complete their entrepreneurial activities or startup, they have to come back to normal academic work. So this is considered as in-service, and they're given, some universities are also giving seed money for the faculty members to start this. Faculty members can dedicate up to 3 working days per month for the start-related activities. with due permission from the registrar of the universities or the head of the institution. I think all faculty members in the degree colleges has to teach 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. If the faculty members show interest in startup activities, and 4 hours in a week or a month is added to his normal working schedule. Faculty members will enroll in startup by providing capital investment in return of shares with or other managerial, technical, or mentorship role whatsoever. Suppose a student startups are available in the campus. The faculty members may not be able to devote full time, but he can invest his money in the startup and take shares in that. Or if he cannot invest in shares, he can be in a managerial position or a technical mentor and help them in every possible way. Faculty members on sabbatical leave will be allowed to obtain shares of the startup company as a compensation for engagement with the company in part or full in lieu of his cash payment. When faculty members are in sabbatical leave, they are not eligible for salary. So, as a compensation for spending their 1 year or 1 semester with the student startup or with the faculty startup, so they can get shares in the name. They can become a director of the company. They can become a co-founder. Earlier, it was not allowed. It's called dual employment. Now it is not considered dual employment. Along with continuing as a professor, principal of a college, you can be a co-owner, co-founder of a company. You can be a director of a company. You can be a chief mentor of a company. Get salary also. Startup cannot give salary. You can get shares of the company. Norms for faculty startup. Startups jointly owned by the staff members and graduating students, or startup owned by faculty members and alumni. What happens in some colleges, student in the final year comes out with a lot of ideas which they don't want to continue. They leave, join. They get employment. In that case, faculty members can join with alumni and initiate steps for starting a startup. Companies owned by staff members, faculty members can join together and start a company. Or a faculty member of a company can start a startup with the members from outside the college also. So one of the co-founder can come from outside also. Companies owned by the graduating student, alumni with the capital investment of faculty members. Sometimes a startup owned by the graduating students or alumni, they don't have a capital, but faculty members have enough money, they can invest in it, they can become a co-founder in that. So these are the different forms of faculty startup. Now, is my slide is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
It is visible. If
Yes, sir.
I maximize it, is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Student startup guideline. This slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Student will be free to dedicate any time outside their regular academic hours and duties toward the startup. It is earlier students are not allowed to take up this academy in the hostel. Now this policy says that in the hostels also student must be allowed to take up this entrepreneurial activities. Students are allowed from their startup on their thesis or dissertation. Suppose they come up with a project. I think it's compulsory for all the students to do a project, and from this thesis they can develop an IP. University will help them to develop an IP and they can commercialize it. Students who are under incubation pursuing some entrepreneurial ventures while studying are allowed to use their address in the institute to register the company with due permission. So one of the requirement, the startup policy says that to register as a startup in the startup portal, that it has to be registered either as a partnership or as a company. When an enterprise for registration requires an address, in that case, a student studying in a college can give college address for registration or his hostel address for registration with the due permission. Student entrepreneurs are allowed to appear for examination even if their attendance is less than minimum permissible percentage with due permission. So most of the students who are engaged in startup activities need to spend a lot of time outside the classroom. So they may end up with attendance shortage. As per the university, VTU, I think 90% attendance is must. 80% is must with some fine or whatever it is. But this says even if the student has 50% attendance, he must be given a permitted examination because he is involved in startup activities. Student allowed to take a semester a year to work on their startup and rejoin academic to complete the course. Another interesting part of the policy is that a student is working on a project and he needs full time to devote. So you can take a break, or you can take a break for a semester, you can take a break for a year, complete this project and come back and rejoin the course and complete it. Student entrepreneurs may earn academic credit for their effort while creating an enterprise. So most in MBA we have around 80 credits for projects. They must go to an industry and do some work, but instead of that, uh, 8 credit in a semester. Sorry, not 80. 8 credit in last 2 semesters. So now instead of that, for 8 credit working with other company, they can work in their own enterprise and get the credit. A review committee is trained by the university or institution to review the startup by student, and appropriate credit for academic can be awarded on the projects made. And provision for academics to be made for students. Suppose a day scholar has a wonderful idea, he may be given a free accommodation in the campus to promote his idea. Startup support for startup. One is incorporation. As I told you that to register as a startup in the Government of India portal, your enterprise has to be registered. That requires a lot of formalities. University may support staff members and students for incorporation of the companies. This may include reimbursement of any charge incurred towards legal compliances. To register a private limited company, you need 30,000 rupees. Register a partnership firm, you need 10,000 rupees. A faculty members or a student may not have this money initially, so the university or college can grant this money to them for registration. Financial support. University may provide funding support to the companies in the form of grant in aid, seed grant, and loan. So now Ministry of Corporate Affairs has written to all companies to divert their CSR funding to the universities and institutions for seed funding to start up. So if you look at the CSR policy of the corporates, they have to spend 2% of their net profit for social initiatives. So this is one of the activities which are listed by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, where you can approach companies saying that I have an excellent startup which is solving social problems. So they will give you either seed money, grant, or sometimes angel investors give loan also. Mentorship and guidance. University will provide necessary mentorship and guidance through, as an example, you can also get from Asian Incubation Center at free of cost. If you send a movie with us, your student and faculty get a free mentorship from our institute, not only from my incubation center, but Goa also as an AS Incubation Center. They will provide mentorship and guidance free of cost. So this support you must make it available to all the students and faculty members. Consideration. When a college provides all these services to the student and faculty, in return, they can take shares from 2 to 9.5% equity in the startup. Suppose college provides a space for their operation of the company, like in Nitte, we provide co-working space, we provide cabins to faculty members to take startup activities. Sometimes college may also give a seed money. For all these services provided to student and faculty members, college can take shares in the startup. Equity can participate in the equity up from minimum 2%, maximum 9.5%. Earlier, IITs and IIMs to take 20%, 30% equity in the startup generated in the campus. Now the policy says that you cannot take not more than 9.5%. You can take equity only when you provide services. If you don't provide services, you cannot take equity. Recently, there was a case filed by the student where he said that he has not taken any facility from the college. He was staying in the hostel. But principal says he has used the electricity of the hostel, so he must give some equity to the college. Now, you can't say that. Only when you provide a space, you provide mentoring support, when you provide other assistance, then only you can take this 2 to 5% consideration from student and faculty startup. Promotion of entrepreneurship should be the main aim of, you have an ED cell or Institute Innovation Cell, in a large scale, and building organization capability, recruitment of staff. Now the policy says that every college should recruit a faculty who has a background of promoting entrepreneurship, or who is a mentor for change. If you don't have, you can have a consultant, or you can train your faculty members to be an educator in entrepreneurship. So normally, normal faculty members cannot take it this entrepreneurship education. So it requires a special training. So either you hire a person who has trained in this, or you train your all AICTE approved institutions will conduct FDPs in entrepreneurship development. We are also planning one in the month of May. So your faculty members can come and get trained, or you can get you have to incentivize faculty members who are taking up this activity. Suppose somebody is coordinator of ReadyCell, he must be given some special incentives. Otherwise, he will not be able to motivate you to take up entrepreneurial activities. Creating innovation pipeline. Sorry, I am again saying AICTE. You can collaborate with anybody in the region. I think Goa has around 3 institutes. It's NIT has an incubation center. Goa Institute of Management has an incubation center. So you can collaborate with them, and they will help you to support from ideation to innovation to market, end-to-end services for startup. We also invite you to collaborate with us also. Awareness to student and faculty about entrepreneurship, as it's a special line of education, and awareness has to be conducted. A lot of workshops, seminars, symposium to be conducted throughout the year to create an awareness for student and faculty, saying that it's a very charming career option. Thinking in cognitive skill through innovation, so competition, hackathon, workshop. You can have an idea competition at the college level. Anyone comes with any idea, so it can be allowed to participate, and best ideas can be selected. And you please send us this. If someone has the best idea, please refer to us. We'll mentor them to convert their idea into product. Connect student in pre-startup phase with successful entrepreneurs. We have a program called Startup Strategy, where any student who wants to be an entrepreneur will be connected to a successful entrepreneur. Every week we do that. So this is one area where you can suppose we have someone else want to know how to do a marketing for startup. So Startup Saturday will be connecting him as an entrepreneur who has successfully done marketing, or he want to know how to register a company. So we'll connect them to entrepreneur. IIC shall conduct activity that reinforces all the above. Learning interventions for EDP, student club bodies, e-cells, and innovation entrepreneurship award, or idea competition at every semester. These are some of the interventions to promote entrepreneurship. Design thinking workshop will be conducted regularly for both. So design thinking is that going beyond the horizons, think in a different way. This lead to innovation. All design thinking workshops should end up with creating a creative mind for both student and faculty, and then look at a problem. Every problem is an opportunity for the startup. Startup formulated to encourage innovation, and every college institute should come out with a startup policy. It's compulsory. If you don't have a startup policy, you get a less mark in the Atal Innovation ranking. But we can also help you to form your institute startup policy. A traditional lecture-based delivery and the course are handled with. Yes, sir.
So I think screen is freezed once.
Not visible. Is
Yes,
visible
sir.
now? Is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Learning
Yes,
intervention
sir.
is
Yes.
visible, sir. Design thinking workshop will be conducted regularly, and many project and student. You can also start a student center for student enterprises. We can help you in all these areas. Entrepreneurship skills are imparted to students at regular and co-curricular and extracurricular activities. This is very important. Collaboration, co-creation. I think your institute also should look at some industry where they can collaborate with you. And for example, we have a tie-up with IBM, E&Y, Microsoft. They say we have hundreds of problems, at least solve over 2-3 problems in a year. They throw challenge to us, student and faculty members. Student and faculty members work together. The hackathon is all about that. We conduct around 6 hackathons in a year in collaboration with the industry. Industry gives us problem statement, and it is thrown open to student and faculty members to come out with a solution. Assessment of EDP is another important issue. So how do you assess whether whether effort in spreading education is effective or not? One criteria or one parameter on which you can assess is how many students have they desire to be an entrepreneur. How many of them generated idea? How many of them converted the idea into product? How many IPs are converted into viable product? So this is a very brief idea about the innovation and startup policy of Government of India 2019. The full policy is available in the website. You can download the copy. So a lot of initiatives are available. Now the startup policy is about funding. Startup India is a flagship initiative of the Government of India, intended to build up a strong ecosystem that is conducive for the growth of startup businesses to drive sustainable economic growth and generate large-scale employment opportunities. Definition of startup. I'm sure all of you are aware about it. To be called as a startup, a group of students or a group of individuals should come together. This group has to be registered either as a partnership or as a company, and date of incorporation should not exceed 10 years. The Government of India started a new portal called Startup India Portal to register to get a recognition of startup certificate from Government of India. The date of incorporation should not exceed 10 years. Is my slide is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Type of company should have been incorporated as a private limited, or sole trading concerns are not registered, not approved as startup. And annual turnover should not exceed 100 crores. Initially it was 25 crores, and last year it was enhanced to 100 crores. Should be original entity. It should be innovative, certified innovative product. It should be scalable also. So these are the 3 conditions, or few conditions to be termed as a startup. Startup policy announced by Government of India to encourage youngsters to take up entrepreneurship as career option as 19-point action plan, and most of them related to funding part of it. And self-certification compliances. See, we have a government, unfortunately, in India have 113 laws to be followed by enterprise to work in India. Out of that, 6 are compulsory regarding labor laws. So you have to apply, and a lot of compliance process. So if you're a startup, you can make a self-certification compliant. You not go to anybody. You declare yourself that I complied with all the compliances. It means that you are exempted from these compliances. Single point of contact via Startup India Hub. Government of India started a Startup India Hub. That is a portal also, and easier and faster exit. In India is very difficult to start a company. It would close also. But if you are registered as a startup, you can easily close with a small application. And relaxed norms for public procurement. If for public procurement to participate in e-tender, you need to have minimum 3 years of existence. You have to pay EMD money. But if you're a startup, you are completely exempted from paying EMD, and the 3-year law is not applicable. Funding support via Fund of Funds corpus of 10,000 crores through SIDBI it is available. Tax exemption, capital gains, 3 years income tax exemption. You are exempted from sales tax for 3 years during the period of 10 years. You can take whenever you want. Out of 10 years, you can take last 3 years as exemption period, or middle of the year at the beginning also. Launch of world-class innovation hub under Atal Innovation Mission. We are under that. The Government of India started a initiative called Atal Innovation Mission to encourage innovation in the country. Three types of program. One is Atal Tinkering Lab at high school level, where student can apply their science knowledge and mathematics knowledge to solve social problems. At degree level, colleges or Atal incubation centers and community innovation centers. These are some of the programs started under Atal Innovation Mission. Startup countrywide incubator network. Right now we have 300 incubators. Now all state government are asked to set up incubation center with the funding. They're called New Age Incubation Center. A lot of schemes are available. Innovation Center to augment incubation and R&D. Research park in the region. So these are some of the policies of the startup policy. This I told you, Government of India. A new generation EDC. It is stopped because of the COVID. It is funded by Department of Science and Technology. It provides one-time non-recurring loan up to 25 lakh to finance startup. It's a very good scheme. Mudra is another very important scheme for promoting startup in India.
So can you change the slide?
Yeah, there's some problem in the. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
It's visible.
Yes, sir.
Mudra is a very important scheme wherein startups are given loan up to from minimum 50,000 to 5 lakh to 10 lakh. Three scheme: Shishu, Kishore, and Tarun. In India, the practice is to get a loan, you must have either a jameen or a land or a personal guarantee. Startups, neither they have a land, they don't have any personal guarantee to offer. There is no collateral security at all. The Mudra scheme, all commercial bank and private banks are mandated to provide loan on this. All our startup we have around 30 startup incubated. I think 10 of them got loan under this scheme. They got 10 lakh for initial capital without any collateral security and 1 year repayment holiday. So this is very useful for the startup Mudra scheme. Startup India scheme. This is also for this program is called Stand Up India scheme, mainly for women entrepreneurs. So all the banks are mandated to fund one woman enterprises ranging from 10 lakh to 100 lakh. Both SCST per branch. Every branch of a commercial bank in a region or a taluk should identify a woman entrepreneur or a SCST and fund loan from 10 lakh to from 100 lakhs and 30% subsidy. Venture capital assistance for agri enterprises. Smile is another important program started by Government of India. This loan is applicable for a period of 3 years. See, this scheme is all about when you take a loan from the source of funding for a startup is one is a grant from various department. Second is seed money, AACs like us. Third is a loan. Fourth is venture capitalist. When they ask for a loan from a bank, banker will insist for margin money. If you apply a loan for a 10 lakh, they give only loan for 70 lakhs. So 30 lakh is to bring from his own contribution. So under this scheme, so the 30% margin money is given by SIDBI. Very important scheme. Credit guarantee scheme. This is another important scheme where some of the startups also got it. Is it my slide visible, sir? Slide is visible. Is this visible slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Credit guarantee scheme is, as I told you, that all commercial banks in India have an unwritten rule that they will not give loan without security. But startup where they have a collateral security. So this scheme says that up to 100 lakhs, all commercial banks are mandated to grant loan to the businessman without any collateral security. So if the commercial bank refuses to give a loan, you must take a in writing that he is not willing to give, then you can send it directly to tweet it to Prime Minister. I've seen a lot of cases where when they send it to Prime Minister, action has been taken by the commercial bank for grant loan on this. This is very important because startups either by faculty or student, they don't have anything to offer as collateral security. So under this scheme, it's popularly called as CGTMSC. This is another important scheme. The dairy agriculture, another fund is available. Benefit of startup recognition. See, if you have a student startup or a faculty startup, you must encourage them to get a certificate from portal saying that they are the startup. The benefit is self-certification under labor and environmental law. You not comply with the labor laws, you are exempted. You have to only make a self-declaration. Tax exemption for 3 years, easy winding up of the company, and startup patent application IPR production. So this is also very, very important. No? The startup, when they have, many times they have wonderful ideas, either a new one or they may replicate existing product. Nothing wrong in replicating, because Ola is a replication of Uber. Flipkart is a replication of Amazon. Nothing wrong in that, but you have to get an IPR production. If you don't do that, you get in trouble. So Government of India reimburses the application, the amount spent on the IPR registration. And you are very careful that all student startup faculty members should get IPR reduction, get a registered trademark, otherwise it will be a problem. So one of our startup, not my, our startup, one of the startup recently got into trouble. They came up with a new product, like Kurkuri is a very popular product in the market. There's some similar product called Mankari. Kurkure is called Mankari initially was on the local region, then sold it in a regional level. Become more, all shopkeepers to keep Mankari than Kurkuri. Then this Pepsi registered a case against this company. This company is closed because they have not taken IPR production. As I told you, public procurement norms, 3 years EMD exempted. Even if you 1 year also, you can participate in the e-tender. And should be fund of fund which margin money can come from them. Unfortunately, this is called SMILE program. So CDPS closed at this. They're not smiling now because of Corona. Same thing, self-certification. This is a brief idea about startup policy. Hope it could get some idea about policies available in the website. You can download, and I wish all of you should have a copy in the institute level. Any doubts? At 11:30 now. Am I audible to you, all of you?
Yes, sir. Students, if any of you have any queries,
doubts?
please ask.
How to join startup? Please let us have an MOU with us. We'll inform you all our programs, an academic partnership. So you can be registered with this web portal. You can register there. You can part of this Startup Saturday program. You'll get a free mentorship. Startups will share their ideas with you. We have an hackathon coming up in month of March. I'll send a brochure to you. Your student and faculty can be part of this program. Anything else? How much we have to pay for patenting? Patenting is a lengthy process. First, you have to apply. First process is patent search, whether you have to find out whether a similar product is already patented. Then it comes around 1.5 lakh, depending on the kind of product you're looking at. But first step is patent search, then apply. It takes some time to register. So all this, if you hire a consultant, they take around 1 lakh, but they can get reimbursement if you register as a startup in the startup portal. I invite the student and faculty members of our college to AEC NITE. Can understand the ecosystem of an incubation center. And we have some online programs also, you can be part of it.
Students, you all have any more queries? Please ask, or else you all can type out in the chat box.
I will leave my email ID. So any questions you can connect me. My mobile number also, leave my mobile number.
Okay, we'll assume, sir, that there are no queries. Students have understood everything. Yeah.
Yes, 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 madam.
Thank you, sir.
Shall we conclude?
Thank you, sir, Dr. Acharya, for enlightening us with so much knowledge that you have shared with us in this webinar. No duty is more urgent than to thank someone, as it is not only shows good manners but also good spirituality. I request Ma'am Namrata Haldankar to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, all. It gives me an immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks for this session. First and foremost, I would like to thank our resource person of the session, Dr. A.P. Achar, for his valuable information on national innovation and startup policy. I would also like to thank our principal ma'am, Dr. Preeta D. Malya, vice principal sir, Dr. Rodney De Silva, for their constant support in organizing this session. I also thank our students Blessy and Jackson for their support. A special thanks to our technical staff Vanessa, Pradnya, Punarv, as without their support, organizing this webinar wouldn't have been possible. Lastly, I would like to thank all the students for their patient listening. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, everyone.